of those who have participated. We're pretty split across. We've got a lot of people that are doing collecting assignments currently from a previous LMS. What's the LMS you're using? Like Blackboard, Moodle, Google Classroom? Just out of curiosity, Blackboard? Okay, cool, excellent. I won't cover it today, but you can look in the guides, and there are some options of like importing or migrating your content from Blackboard or Moodle into Canvas. Um, we can look you can look that up in the guides. But today we're going to be covering assignments. Good morning, um, and thanks for participating. Let me just share my screen. Um, and all right, hopefully you can see what I see. Um, so My name is Rachel. I'll just do some brief introductions. So I'm Rachel. I'll be leading the training today. Nick, his face is a little dotty. It's not like that in real life. He is a full-time trainer. I'm a contractor here at Instructure. And so he will be moderating the chat window and fielding your questions, okay? Um, so just a little bit about me. I've done faculty support and I've built courses in Canvas for about a little more than 5 years. Been a student in Canvas since '08. I finished school back in 14 though. This is my little family, and I love helping people use Canvas to benefit students in the learning experience. So today we're going to be talking about, like I said, assignments. Um, and I'm going to move pretty quickly. It kind of seems like people, typically Canvas admins and instructors are pretty savvy, but do let me know if I'm going too fast. This is our general agenda. So we're going to just do an overview of assignments, learn about the assignment index page, assignment groups. We're going to learn about how to create an assignment, pretty straightforward, and then some different options within assignments, so extra credit and student view. Um, I'll give a plug for rubrics, and I'll also give a plug for other trainings. That a nice training that goes along with this is SpeedGrader. If you're an instructor, if you're going to be training instructors. If I was a salesperson for Canvas, I would really highlight assignments as well as the SpeedGrader tool. Um, they just simplify our lives, and they're beautiful things. So please log into your version of Canvas. It's usually your school name .instructure.com. I'm going to just show you just a training. One's blank and then one's already created. But before, let me get into it. So right now I'm just sitting in a training course. You can see this is the breadcrumb navigation, so I can see I'm looking at assignments, and that's also sitting the category of my training course. And then and this is kind of designed for mobile so that a mobile device can tap and see more of a menu. So there's assignments, Canvas assignments, and then the assignment tool. Assignments in Canvas, let me show you in a course that has content in it. The word assignments here on this left-hand navigation means everything in the course that is graded. Quizzes, discussions, finals, midterms. So hopefully you're okay with Canvas has kind of guided that vernacular so that because the assignment, when you build assignments, that's how you build your grade book. And so anything that is graded equals assignments. And then we've got our assignment tool, which is how you build assignments, which I'm going to show you today. So even though assignments in Canvas on this left-hand navigation includes everything graded, quizzes, discussions, field trips, just anything that's assigned points, attendance can be considered an assignment. We're going to be focusing on how to build an assignment in the assignment tool. So the assignments in Canvas challenge students' understanding and help us assess competency. This assignments index page right here, what you're looking at, well, let me show you in a course that's been created. We've got different assignment groups. This one's called the ePortfolio assignment. We've got course feedback, which you can see this little icon. That means a quiz. This little speech bubble means a discussion, which is also graded. We've got lots of discussions in this course. More exams, and then the little piece of paper with a pencil or pen by it is an actual assignment, which is what we're going to be focusing on today. So assignments can be assigned to everyone in the course or differentiated by section, groups, or individuals. Um, Also within assignments, you can, and quizzes, if a student has an IEP or maybe a disability that they've gone through, like the Disability Resource Center, you can account for that by like moderating a quiz, like giving them longer, maybe giving them an extra try on a quiz, or giving them an extended due date. And I'll show that later. But assignments is wonderful because don't you hate it when your student's handing you a piece of paper and you don't know what to do with it because you're about to head out the door? Canvas is a place where you can store, if you allow them to submit online. It's your one-stop shop. It's like the Walmart or other large store of all your assignments that are going to be graded online. And so with assignments, there's a few different submission types. And so if you just don't want to grade your assignments online, yes, there is a list. Nick's going to answer that. Thanks, Robin. So we've got no submission online on paper and an external tool. No submission means nothing is going to be submitted online, or maybe it's just like a pass-fail thing. It kind of depends on how you want to do it. What we're going to focus on today is the online. So we've got text entry, website URL, like if they've got like a e-portfolio or some sort of blog, media recording, or file uploads. So I will get into this into more detail. Let me go back to the assignments overview page. And let's see here. So you can search for an assignment. This is my blank course. Let me go back to my little humanities course. So I want to search for an assignment that's about Buddhism. So it looks like I've got my Buddhism, I've got a quiz on Buddhism. I can search for assignments here in the top left. And then I can also, does anyone weight their gradebook? Assign weights to your gradebook. Quizzes are worth more than discussions. Okay, well, great. Well, I'll just show you, even if you don't use it. So in the top right-hand corner of your screen, you can click this gear or cog, and you can click this check and group your assignment, weight them differently. So, but if you only have one, it looks like both of them I have things. So to add a group, just press the plus group sign. This is my test group. I'm going to add, it's going to be 1% of the total grade. It's going to add, and there's going to be no assignments currently, but I can see up at the top, my assignment group was successfully saved. I scroll all the way to the bottom. This is my little test assignment group, okay? So, show you. So to add an assignment within this group, I can click this little plus sign and add my assignment. And again, assignment is everything that is graded. So these are the types: discussion, quiz, something that's not graded, like a field trip, like a show up kind of deal. This is a way that you can add assignments to a particular group. But if I just want to add one and I don't really know which group, or I'm not creating, or I don't have groups because I don't weight my gradebook, just go to this top right-hand corner and I click Add Assignment. Let me see here. So you can or you can click and drag items pretty easily. Do you see? I just click and hold down, and I can move things wherever they need to go. Okay. So, and then if you see over here on the right-hand side, you have this ability to sync to your SIS, your Student Information System. That doesn't make any sense. Talk to your Canvas administrator. This means that your grades in Canvas, if your administrator has turned this feature on, you can sync them to like your school's student information system. If you're not, so that's kind of an option that we will just touch on. And then on the right, to the right of that, we've got this unpublished and published, this little green check mark. It becomes a gray cloud. So publish in Canvas language means make it visible to students. If it's unpublished, or if there's like a gray X, that means it's invisible. You can still draft, like if you know there's a typo and you don't want to get to it just yet, you can unpublish it so it's not visible to students, and then publish it at any time. So it's like a draft state kind of deal. Let me see here. So multiple sections in a course is called cross-listing. So let's say I teach humanities Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, Thursday. Monday, Wednesday, section 1, Tuesday, Thursday, section 3. If it's like the exact same content, just different classes, I can cross-list this course, which means I put those two, section 1 and section 3, into the same parent course so that I don't have to change my course twice. I just have to change it once. And with that, you typically with like a Monday, Wednesday class, I'm going to have it due on Friday, Tuesday, Thursday. I'll make it due Saturday, and we can differentiate with those due dates. And so let me show you what that looks like really quick. So I just clicked on an assignment that's already created. I'm going to click edit. I'll try to hopefully everyone speaks English natively. I kind of mumble and I'll try to talk slower. So assign to everyone. If I had different course sections here, it would show up like I'm going to assign my course section. Section 1 is going to be due Wednesday. Section 3 is going to be due Friday or whatever. So you can assign. I can change due dates depending on who I'd like to assign those due dates to. So, but before we get any further, what I'd like to, we're going to have a little hands-on activity. And I'm going to stop talking, give you guys a break from my voice. So what I want you to do is go into a course. Hopefully you have access to just like a little play course. Go to assignments. I want you to create an assignment group. If you've already created assignments, let me just show you your little activity here. So I want you to navigate to the assignment index page, one of your courses, add a group that will help you in your course, and then if possible, kind of click and drag, just kind of play around. And then when you're ready to move on, please participate in our poll and say that you are ready to continue once you've completed these tasks. And I'm going to put myself on mute in the meantime.
You have been muted. Your microphone
Looks like we have about 5 people that are done. When we get closer to 8 people, I'm gonna start again, but it looks like, so please let me know if you've completed the activity that's on your screen. We moved up to 6. Oh, all right, people want to move on. When we get up to 8, I'll move on. You know, that 8th person is just not participating. So I guess we're going to move on regardless, because it's been a little bit and I want to keep moving forward. Next, we're going to talk about, oh, sorry. I was just looking for some icons. All right, so hopefully that went okay. And now we're going to continue on to creating an assignment. So I'm going to just start from scratch. So I'm flipping between 2 tabs. Sorry if that's confusing. I want to show you what it looks like blank, like a blank course or a somewhat blank course, and then a course that has kind of content already in there. So let's begin. So I'm going to go to this top right-hand corner, click assignment. And so we've got our assignment name. And so be as descriptive as possible. Especially when you're designing for mobile, you want to make things helpful for the students and as clear as possible. Students need all the help they can get, you know? So we've got our assignment name, and then, and then we've got a rich text editor here. And a rich text editor, I think of it as like a mini Microsoft Word. And it is nice because there are a couple of things happening. We've got just the simple, like all the icons that you've seen before. So I'm going to call this, let's call it field trip. And then we've got, so you can see up here in the top right hand corner, this is not published. So currently students cannot see what I'm creating. And you can see on the right hand side, I can insert content into this page. So links means like a hyperlink into another web page within the course, this links tab. Files is like if I want to allow a person to download a file that they could like print out or then fill out. And then images, okay? Let me show you just briefly how to do all that. So welcome. This is not gonna, I'm not gonna be that creative, so sorry. So when I link to another page, I could say like refer back to this assignment, blah, 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 blah. And I'm gonna click on assignments over here in the right-hand navigation to your first assignment, sorry. And I'm gonna highlight what I have here. I'm gonna click this assignment. So when a student, once I click save in the bottom right-hand corner, excuse me, save and publish, save means it's still draft and not visible to students, and save and publish means it's visible to students and it's live. When that is published and visible to students, when they click that, it becomes a little link in your course and they can go back to the assignment you're referring to. And then I can insert an image by doing this little image tab. Let's see here. Do some Hindu stuff. It's exciting. And then I can resize this image by clicking and dragging here. Also, this little embed image item, I can change the size here with pixels. We've got a math equation icon. There's lots of little icons here that you can kind of explore, and I'm going to have you explore that in a moment. Wow, this assignment's looking kind of sad. So there's lots of options as far as how you want to display your grade as. The default is points, but we've got percentage and complete, not like pass fail kind of deal. letter grade, GPA scale are not graded. The default is points. You can have this not count towards their final grade. Um, that option is there. You're going to have this assignment worth 10 points. And then let's just go on to submission type. So no submission means they're giving you something else. Nothing's going to be submitted on Canvas, within Canvas. Online is what I'll focus on. Today, text entry, that has a limit of like 17,000 characters. So this is good if it's just like a short answer, one paragraph deal. If you want more formatting, I'd recommend file uploads. And you can restrict the upload type to like PDF or Word doc or docx, etc. All right. So you can make it a group assignment. Group assignments are cool. Let me show you. So I select group assignment. We're going to call them Group A. You can allow for self-sign up. I don't have any students in this course probably, so it's kind of lame. Sorry. I can allow self-sign up, or I can just, and then again, if you have your course cross-listed, or if there's two sections in your same course, you can select that option. If you want it to be just, you want to create the groups manually, you can do so. You can split the students into this many sections. You can assign a student leader. There's like tons of options. It is the best. So that's just a brief overview on groups. You can do peer reviews, which is pretty nice. Again, the sync to SIS, this allows Canvas to post the grades that you put into Canvas into your school student information system. And then we've got a moderator for moderated group viewing, and so on. Let me, right here in the top right hand corner, here's our little cog. That's where you kind of get to settings. I can delete it, but once I save it, there's going to be more settings. So the peer reviews, let me just cover that a little bit more in depth. When I select peer reviews here in the settings, there's lots of settings here. We can do manually or automatically. Peer reviews appear anonymously. I hated in school when everyone's peer review was just like super nice and it was not really that constructive of criticism. It just wasn't that helpful. So if you think your kids are going to be really nice, you can have it appear anonymously. You can automatically assign the reviews. You can just have like 2 reviews per user. Like every student has to review 2 assignments. And then we've got a due date. Lots of fun things as far as peer reviewing. We've got a differentiated due dates. So let's say Rachel Horton, myself. I have an IEP. I've got a learning disability of some sort, and I needed an extended due date. So right now we're going to make this due a week from today. And if you accept late work, oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. The due date goes here. And then your available from is like when you're able to submit the assignment. So we've got it open from the 17th. If you accept late work, you could do the 26th or leave this option blank. I wouldn't accept late work. I'm kind of not so friendly about late work, but if you're into that, you can do that. I click add. I'm going to just assign to Rachel, and so she has an IEP, so she's got some sort of disability, and I'm going to give her a little bit longer. No one in the course is going to know she gets a week longer or whatever, but you can kind of assign special cases for students that have some challenges, or you can change. Anyway, there's lots of options for due dates. So the next activity is pretty straightforward. So let me just click save and publish. Oh, sorry, we're not going to do the group activity. I'll do save and publish, and I'm just going to show you what this looks like at the student side. So obviously this isn't very pretty, and I apologize, but we know I can see this is published. You see how it's published in the top right hand corner? So it's visible to students. It's available today. It was available this morning. So right now what I'm going to show you is what this looks like on the student side. So I'm going to go to settings in my bottom left-hand side of my screen. And then I'm going to go to student view. Okay. I'm going to click student view. That's kind of like, this is what it looks like for the student. You could even submit assignments. I'm going to go to assignments as a student. Oh, it's my field trip assignment. I'm going to click on it. I can see as a student it's worth 10 points. Oh, I put no submission. That wasn't supposed to happen. My bad. So field trip. Oh, no submission means I haven't submitted it. I'm sorry. I'm not used to looking at this as a student. So I know it's due at May 25th. It's available till then as well. As a student, I'm going to click on it. Great question, Barbara. The assignment doesn't disappear when you put an end to the available, but the ability to submit the assignment. So they'd still be able to like read the details of the assignment, but this submit assignment button would disappear after May 25th at midnight. So I'm going to click submit assignment, and this is what it looks like for a student. So I can choose file upload, Dropbox, click I've connected Dropbox. So they can upload a file and then say thanks or whatever, click their assignment, and that's it. So yeah, pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to do a little hands-on thing. Your next activity or your next task, your mission if you choose to accept it, is add an assignment. I want you to create an assignment instructions, something that would be useful to you, play around with the settings. Maybe you'll have questions about rubrics. I hope you will because I love rubrics. And I'm going to put myself on mute. So these are your tasks, and I'll give you a few minutes. Please participate in the polls if you're ready to move forward. Great. If not, I'll just hang on. I'm going to give you guys a few more minutes. Looks like about 4 people are ready to continue. If you're ready to move on, please say so. Ooh, all right. We're about halfway there. Let's see if I want to get like 10 people to say they're ready to move on. We've got some good questions going on in the chat window. So like one more minute and then we'll get going. Hey, Barbara, you could do link it to Google Drive. That would make it kind of a live thing where you could switch out your Google Drive folders, or you could use Dropbox. You could authorize those to external tools to help with your folder dealio. Yeah, I agree with that, Nick. Well, no one, only 8 people are ready. Well, hopefully you guys can keep. I'm getting too tired of my voice by now. Good questions. Keep them coming. So, who loves rubrics? Let me just say I do. I'm so excited about rubrics. Okay, what I love about rubrics is the following. It makes things so clear for the student because I really don't like the same question over and over again. Teachers have a lot of patience. I'm not that patient, you know? So let me just show you what it looks like to have some rubrics. So rubrics are kind of hidden. So instructors, oh, sorry. Even though these little buttons are gray here, I cannot emphasize enough, these are still accessible to you. You are all powerful. You are the instructor or the admin or the designer, and even though these are kind of gray buttons, they're still available to you. Rubrics sit in the outcomes button here on the left-hand navigation. Let me show you what they look like though in a link to an assignment. So they sit there, but you can also access them here. So let me just show you. Sorry, I'm hopping around here. So I know that the ePortfolio has a rubric assigned to it. So rubrics are awesome because it makes the student expectation crystal clear, and it's also a gift to teachers who are grading hundreds of papers or assignments, and they're just tired of thinking, oh, I didn't click save. Let me go to another one that has a rubric. Let me go to a discussion that has a rubric. I'm pretty sure they all do. So this one doesn't look, I'm pretty sure it has one. Let's see here. So, okay. So with the discussion, I know we're not covering discussions today, but I'll just briefly go over it. In the top right-hand corner of a discussion, or an assignment for that matter, you'll be able to see a rubric. So this assignment, which is field trip, I need to add a rubric. So let me do so, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to click Add Rubric. I'm going to scroll down so you can see it. And with your rubrics, be as specific as possible, like field trip A reflection or whatever. So we've got our criteria, like attendance. You can do full or no, pass, fail there. They either came or they didn't. Yes. And then we could do like behaved well. Let's act like we're doing 5-year-olds. It's a 5-year-old field trip. That sounds like a nightmare. Or like reflection or like paper submitted. So think this is going to become interactive when you use the SpeedGraders, the Canvas SpeedGrader tool, which I'll just show you very briefly. So you just add more criterions here. Excuse me. You can select, use this rubric for assignment grading. And then if you want to align it with outcomes, if your school is really into outcomes, you can align things with outcomes. If I want to create an outcome, like let's say they demonstrate an example of a outcome. Shouldn't print the rubric. That is a really good question, Robin. Nick's going to answer that so I can keep going on my little train of thought. So we've got our little rubric, and once you create a rubric, you can use it a million times, and you can use it not just in your humanities course, but you can use it in your biology course or whatever courses you're using. You can cross-contaminate. It's just beautiful. I love rubrics. Let me show you what it looks like when you're grading. So I'm going to go to grades. A little bit of background noise, but not too bad. So hopefully it's not bothering you guys. Give those microphones on. Let's see here. We're going to do the complexity of the Dharma. This assignment. View rubric. Awesome. So if there was a submission, pretend like there was. I'm going to click View Rubric over here. So awesome. So let me just make this a little bigger so you can see. So this is a pretty detailed rubric, which makes things pretty awesome for the teacher and the student. And you know this test student, we're going to say she got proficient there, exemplary there. And you can just click like this. It was on time for the time submission. Oh, I love this feature. It's so cool. So when you build the rubric here, these little ratings become interactive once you see them in SpeedGrader, and it's totally awesome. Okay. Rubrics are great, and then I click Save, and the student is notified. I know that the student got 11 out of 15, so I'm going to mark 11 out of 15. I'm going to click Submit, and the student will be notified. Oh, I got my assignment graded. I did okay. Not great, but just okay. Good to know. Let's talk about Turnitin. Turnitin is a plagiarism tool that you can buy. Your school can purchase a license to. Turnitin is a plagiarism tool. What it does is it scans your student's piece of work or document, and it checks it for plagiarism. It's totally awesome. And so it'll highlight different pieces and say, you know, this came from CNN, but if your student has cited that it came from CNN, perfect, they didn't commit plagiarism. And so for things like Turnitin, you want to create the rubric before creating the assignment. And so the best way to practice building assignments is through modules. And does anyone know what modules is? Have you guys, is this your first training? Oh man, hopefully this isn't your first training. Well, it's okay if it is. So modules is a way to guide your students or kind of funnel them in a linear fashion through your course. Let me show you what it looks like on a course that's created. Go back, sorry. Here, okay. I'm going to go to modules. So it's a way to tell your students this is the step-by-step progression of the course. Again, just leaving nothing out for those students. They need all the help they can get. So let me go back to modules, sorry. So this is my modules view, and I know that when I click orientation, my next page to view is my syllabus and portfolio assignment. I can add assignments here by clicking this little plus sign, and I can add lots of things, but this is how you add assignments. So you can add assignments at the Assignments tab over here on the left, hand navigation, or in modules, and they both look pretty much the same. It's just a plus sign, and then with this, it says plus assignment. Hopefully that's pretty straightforward. Let's see here. Any questions on rubrics? They're pretty straightforward. Hopefully, if you have questions, please ask them now. I'm going to, your next activity is to add, so you've created an assignment, hopefully, and then you're going to add a rubric to your assignment. And and then I want you to add a title and like 1 or 2 scoring criteria to your rubric, and then save your rubric. I will give this disclaimer. Sometimes it's confusing. I've had teachers that have been confused because they're editing it and then they're like, but I want to add the rubric, and they're searching for the rubric and they're not finding it and they get so sad. Don't fear. The rubric ability is still there for you. You just have to click save, and then so it's like kind of in a different place. Okay, do you see this rubric here? So once you've saved, then you add your rubric. Okay, so okay, hopefully that was clear and not confusing. Here is your slide of your assignments, of what you need to do. So it add a rubric, title it, and then save it. When you're ready to continue, we can move on. So please participate in the poll so I know what's going on. Thanks. Hey, Lindsay, let me answer that. Everyone keep working. You can mute me. That's a great question. So if you want to use an assignment, so your question is, you want to use a pre-existing for another assignment. Great question. Okay, so let me show you. So I'm going to go to assignments, and I've already built my rubric. Once it loads, sorry for the delay. Please ignore me if this isn't helpful. I'm going to click plus rubric here. Great question. And then instead of creating a new rubric, which I would do right here by titling it, I would find a rubric, which means it's already existing. So I have quite a few courses here, but you can see that if I want to apply a rubric within my business communication course into this course, I can do so. And then I can choose my rubric, quick rubric. I can use this rubric, and then I don't have to build it again. Hopefully that's answered your question. Oh heavens, I didn't share my screen. I'll do it again. I'm so sorry. Okay, so well, this is actually good. So I'm going to delete this rubric because I didn't show you how to do what I was doing. My bad. Okay, I'm going to delete it. It says, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm totally sure. Okay, I go plus rubric. So I'm in the assignment that I want to attach the rubric to, okay? And I do find a rubric. Do you see that in the right-hand corner? So instead of creating a new one, I'm going to find a rubric. And then you see I've got lots of rubrics, like I mentioned before, that you didn't see. Sorry. I'm going to select my rubric, and I'm going to click use this rubric. And I can also, once I've created this rubric, I can edit this. Let's say it's specific to the ePortfolio. So I'm going to make it ePortfolio. But it's already created. It's beautiful. I'm going to click. I want to use this rubric for assignment grading, just so that when I'm using the SpeedGrader tool, I can use the rubric because it's a beautiful thing. And then change assignment points to match rubrics. This is a great question. So it looks like whatever I saved, it looks like I've saved my assignment in the assignment settings to be worth 100 points, but my rubric is saying 35 points. That's confusing. I'm going to change it and make it the same. So which means I'm going to make it so that the rubric trumps the assignment setting so that they match. But this leads us to some extra credit, but I won't get to that just yet. Great question. I'm going to look at how you're doing as far as our little activity. Sorry that took a while for me to share my screen. Yeah, I got two goes of it. I'll mute myself and then we'll move on when more people have said they're ready to continue. We have about 10 minutes, 12 minutes left of the training. With regard to assignments, and I'm going to cover extra credit, and I'm going to show a little bit more about student view, but what topics do you want to learn about that relate to assignments? And I'm going to show you the guides. If there's anything that you'd like me to clarify or go into more depth about, please say so in the chat, and I will listen and share my screen. Very tricky. Okay, so it looks like most of you, yes, I will show you SpeedGrader. Oh, it's so cool. But before that, let me show you the guides. I think we're ready to, let's see here. Are we ready to move forward? 9 out of 13. I don't know what that percentage is, but we're just going to keep going. Okay, so let me cover extra credit briefly as well as the guides, and then I will cover SpeedGrader. Okay, there is a whole training. It's all about SpeedGrader. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. I love SpeedGrader. I think I love it more than rubrics, but I like them as they work together. So I'm not going to rate. I'm not going to choose them. I like them both equally, like my children. So we have the guides. They're totally awesome. 24/7 help. So in the bottom left-hand corner, I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. There's a little question mark, okay? I'm going to click on that, and it's like help. This is when I need help. So these are your options. So you can search the Canvas guides. If you have a really good idea that Canvas could totally improve, please say so. And your coworkers and friends can thumbs it up or thumbs it down. You can ask the community or get help from a Canvas expert. expert, excuse me, not export. And then, but we're going to just cover search the guides. So when I click search the guides, it's going to take me to the community. It's a really great place. So we've got lots of options here. I'm going to highlight the mobile. Everything's great here. So I'm going to highlight the guides though. Let's say you're an instructor and you have pretty instructor-specific questions or pretty basic questions. If you have a question about rubrics, you could just search rubrics. What are rubrics? How do I assign them? And then if you want to go to like a group of people, you can go back. Oh, close, heavens. Okay. So again, let me go back to how I access that. In the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you have a question mark. Help, I need help. I'm going to search the Canvas guides. If you want to like follow certain groups, like I like the instructional designer group. Click that. You can log in using your Canvas login. You can see my little face right there. Means I'm logged in, and I can follow. I can start a discussion. I can see what I want to follow. Like I'm really interested in student media accessibility. So I can like it. I can follow it. I can give it a badge. Let's see here. Pretty sure if I click here, I'm going to do Nick, remind me how I follow things. I thought I could follow. Oh, here we are. I found it. Just kidding. Sorry, Nick. There's kind of some desperation there. My bad. So I can follow this student accessibility group. It was hidden in an icon. My bad. So if I click this little cog, like everything else in Canvas, I can click following in my inbox or my follow. I can bookmark it like I want to report back to it. I can view it as a PDF and print it. Awesome. So that is the guides. It's a beautiful thing. So we've got answers. Anyway, I highly recommend the guides. They are wonderful. Lots of choices there. Let me just, who uses extra credit? I will, depending on the use, the frequency of use here, I will cover it in more depth. But extra credit, wow, you guys are nice. I don't know if I would, I think I would. So there's a few ways to do extra credit. I know. I need to get back. Okay, lots of professors do on campus. Great. So I'm going to just show you some guides on extra credit, and I'm going to, I think Nick will send you these, but I'll just send you them. They're pretty quick. So non-graded assignments, I don't want to cover that too in depth, but that's a link about non-graded assignments. How do I give extra credit in a course? Great question. So you can create an assignment with no submission, and then add points to it. So let me show you. Let's see here. So let me just lend you all these guides. So you can highlight and paste, not just go to these sites, but you can copy and paste them into like a Word doc if you're taking notes. Really hope whatever I'm saying is worth taking notes. But again, you can find these all through the Canvas community. Just search extra credit. You can see this document is official. All right. So let me show you how to do this. So, oh, and I can show you the rules. So cool. Okay, I'm excited. Okay, we have 7 minutes left. I will show you SpeedGrader, and then I showed you the guides, and now I'm going to show you extra credit. Okay, so we're just, and I won't go over. I don't like going over, so don't worry. So let's say this, let me show you extra credit. Just take some Ritalin and focus. So when I'm grading, I'm going to go grades here. In the left-hand navigation, even though it's out of 13, I want to give them extra credit. So one way I can do so is give them 15 out of 13. Just give them more points than it was worth. That's one option. I can also make an assignment worth 0 and then give them more than they'd like. There's like so many options. Just like look at the guide because there's so many options. Hold on. This is a guide. No, I'm not gonna. So there's a few ways you can add extra credit points to an existing assignment. In a quiz, which we're not covering in depth today, but in a quiz, you can kind of give them fudge points. If you want to learn more about that, go to this guide. which I've put in the chat window, or take the quiz training. It's totally awesome. Quizzes are super cool too. Create extra credit within a rubric. Oh, cool. So you can say that the assignment is worth 20, but the rubric allows them 25. So that would be a case in which when they are different, let's say this is worth 15, I'm going to click save. And Canvas warns me when I save my rubric and it's like, this is totally different. Let me just find a rubric. We're going to do 35 points. Man, I'm nice. So use this rubric. This says, oh, it didn't, 35, it didn't warn me, but you can see that I've got some credit, some little fudge points or extra credit room within my rubric because the assignment is worth 15, but the rubric allows for 35. So that's a little bit about extra credit. SpeedGrader. If you're ready to move on to SpeedGrader, I'm going to go there. If not, please ask questions about rubrics and I'll get to them. Oh, SpeedGrader is so good. Okay. So the way, let me show you. I'm not going to go to this course. I'm going to go to another course. Sorry. Give me a moment. So in Canvas, when you go to assignments, you can reorder assignments as you'd like to see them in the gradebook because when I click assignments, it's everything that is graded. Again, quizzes, discussions, field trips, whatever is graded or assigned points, that is going to be sitting in your assignments tab, okay? And if you want, like I think it'd be confusing that the end of the course feedback comes before early, so I want to click and drag. Oh heavens. Here we go. There we go. I'm going to click and drag because I think that should make more sense, right? Early, mid, end, right? So I'm going to go there. I'm going to refresh my page because what you see vertically here in the order that you see it, you're going to see it horizontally in the gradebook, okay? So I see it horizontally here, vertically, and then I'm going to see it horizontally in the gradebook. Gradebook is so cool. So if you have students in your course, which you will, hopefully if you have a job, you will see like your course roster right here. Your students will appear here, and it's totally awesome. So it's like a live Excel spreadsheet. It's not as complex. As soon as I enter a score, if the student has selected to receive a notification, they're going to see feedback. And a good way of teaching is instant feedback for a student. We can, let me show you SpeedGrader. So if I hover over the assignment name, I think this will happen. I'm going to go to SpeedGrader. I'm going to see this little blue circle with a white triangle that's upside down. I click SpeedGrader. Oh, SpeedGrader is so cool. I can click my rubric and up here at the top. So this looks very different. There is a SpeedGrader app, which I recommend. Let me just tell you about the icons and then I'll wrap up and you can be excused because this is kind of extra. So we've got our gradebook, which means go back to the course gradebook, get out of SpeedGrader. If I want to mute or unmute an assignment, meaning I'm only going to grade half of them, and it'll just tell you. Are you sure you want to mute this assignment? Muting an assignment hides the grades or the notifications regarding that assignment, meaning the student won't be able to see the feedback until you have unmuted the assignment. And this looks like the little mute icon, okay? And then got keyboard shortcuts, and then we've got our little cog. You can sort the student list alphabetically, or when they submitted, you want to hide names because you think Sandra is a lot cooler than Bob. You can do that and save those settings. Yeah, I highly recommend, since we're kind of out of time, I recommend the SpeedGrader training. It is wonderful. Hopefully this wasn't too fast and this was helpful. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and hopefully this was useful to you. I love assignments. They are a good thing. And my name is Rachel Horton. Nick DeMoss, I think that's how you say his last name, was your moderator.